Hi, Filmatics. Welcome back to part two with Niall Cassin. He is a writer from Dublin, Ireland, who worked on some of our biggest movies, such as Deadpool, Power Rangers, War for the Planet of the Apes, Riverdale, and Supernatural. And so this is part two. Welcome back, Niall.
Hi, Marlon. Thanks for having me again.
Yeah, and so we were talking about you were in the middle of the forest in Canada, and you said what kind, like they were doing how did they do the apes? They were doing green screen or
Yeah, they're doing motion capture, so people are like in best described as like wetsuits, kind of, and they have like ping pong balls, and there was like a horse charge, and like I was saying, it was just like for me, it was because the continuity is connected to the original Charlton Heston movies, and I, in a way, was part of that legacy of filmmaking, and it was very, very special moment for me to be part of it.
yeah, that's amazing. And then can you tell us a little bit about Power Rangers? How did they do that? Is that at the studio or anything fun on boat?
Power Rangers, a lot of it was done. So the type of being a PA in Vancouver, there's two different types. So it's being a day call or being a show call. Now a show call, start to finish, a day call, you could be on it for a day, you could be on it for a couple of weeks. So I was a day call on the Power Rangers. So most of the CGI obviously is done in LA or somewhere like that. But I was there for the school scenes where they filmed the interactions in the schools, and like even for the simple like people walking down corridors, like it's an army of crew to do that, an army of crew, because then you have extras, you have costumes, you have all these people need to be fed, transport, all this type of thing.
Oh, and what about Deadpool? Everyone loves that movie. How was it doing Deadpool?
Yeah, so I worked on the reshoots of Deadpool, and yeah, that was a lot of fun. Now sometimes you get to be right at the action, and other times you're standing by a generator miles away, or you're in Crew Park. But no, Deadpool was seeing Ryan Reynolds in action and seeing him do his thing. And again, like it wasn't the action scenes you get to see, be more like the interactions between the characters in the bar and so on. But no, it was a lot of fun. Like saying it's a lot of fun, but also these are very long hours and it's very stressful. There's this expression like "hurry up and wait," where you're standing around for 3 or 4 hours, and then there's these 15 minutes of intense, stressful, like trying to get the shots and trying to get everything done, and then it's another 3 or 4 hours of setting up the next shot. So yeah.
Yeah, so if you want to go into filmmaking, it's like especially for movies are the long hours. TV's a little bit shorter, right, with the hours.
No, well, for a production assistant was 15 hours. Like that's 15 hours standard. You might wrap early, it might be 14 and a half hours, but usually it's 15 hours every day.
Yeah, so and then a Riverdale. Anything fun? Any fun stories about Riverdale?
No, I worked on the pilot of Riverdale. So, well, the only fun story, kind of like I thought was coincidence. So I worked on Riverdale, and it was Luke Perry from Beverly Hills 90210 was there on set, and then the next week I worked with Jason Priestley. He was directing an episode of Van Helsing, and I thought that was funny the way the two guys from Beverly Hills 90210, like I worked with them a week apart on these two random shows in Vancouver, and that was just before Luke Perry passed away. So I thought that was yeah, that was nice.
And then anything fun and Supernatural?
No, like I wish I had more fun stories, but like Supernatural, it's long hours in the forest in the rain. There's not. Oh, one time we did go to a pretty cool location. Went to like a mine in upper British Columbia outside Vancouver, and while I was there, my I don't know about the film set, but my car broke down, so I had to spend the night in the car park of this abandoned mine
Oh no!
until the next morning. But yeah, but like most of the fun stories, maybe not so. Tell you, I have a story about, I don't know, Bruce Greenwood. I don't know who Bruce Greenwood is.
Is he a director?
No, he's an actor. He was an actor on the new Star Trek movies. He was Pike, and he's been around for years. But he was in Double Jeopardy, and he was in Jared's Game. But he's a great character. And the pilot I originally worked on what I got fired from when I went to a production assistant. He used to sit on his trailer and just like play guitar, and everyone that walked by, he would ask like, "Oh, name a song," and I'll sing it. So he's sitting on the trailer and singing songs, and then he said to me like, "Name a song," and I said, "Oh, I don't know, anything from Tin Lizzy," and he's just like, "You're Irish," and I'm just like, "Yeah." So for the rest of he started playing Tin Lizzy and singing the top of his lungs like on set, and then from then on he called me Irish wherever I saw him. But like very personal, very nice guy.
Oh, that's such a cool story because you do need to. That's why I think some people knit on the set, or they do
Mm,
exercise and playing guitar. That's beautiful. And then
yeah.
anything, did you pick up any tips? Like, say, when were you able to see Steven Spielberg or any of the directors set up shots that you want to share with any of those shots that they set up?
Yeah, well, I always remember Jason Reitman. So Jason Reitman did Up in the Air, and he did Jason Reitman did Up in the Air. He did the new Ghostbusters Afterlife, and he did Juno. And so I always remember there was a school scene where the kids are leaving school, and I was just hanging around Video Village, just like taking everything in. And Charlize Theron's there, and he's talking to her, but never understood the concept of like layering in a film shot. That like you need to have stuff in the background, and he's like, he's talking about what he wants in the foreground, the background, the middle, and so on. And I never thought of like the how your eye sees um, the depth of field on screen, and from that part I understood that like and from reading the script I understood like the action lines, they were to fill that depth of field for the viewer. So from that, him setting that shot up, I remember it distinctly, and and every time I go to write, I am always brought back to when he set up that shot.
Oh, yeah, because it's always nice to learn. And then you also worked with the Universal Pictures executive Scott Bernstein on the Steven Spielberg film, The Turning. How was that? Was it just amazing? Did you get to meet Steven Spielberg?
No, so he was executive. He was executive producer, and no, he wasn't on set. It was just the other producers on set. It was also it was just Scott was pretty much on set all day. And but like again, that was a fantastic experience being in that Gothic mansion with all these amazing actors, and yeah,
Oh, yeah, it's kinda hard to picture a Gothic mansion in Ireland, but yeah, there's all kinds of stuff everywhere, right?
yeah. So they actually filmed it. I think they filmed it in Ireland, but it was actually set in Washington or Oregon. I think it was set. So
Interesting.
it's still, I think it was just like down to tax or whatever. So
The tax credits, right? Because Canada has
yeah,
great tax credits, right? And Ireland must have great tax credits as well, right?
yeah, and as well as that, I think like Irish facilities, they're not like they're world class. The Irish facilities are world class, and also it's it's English speaking country. It's only like 6 hours away from New York. It's easy to crew. So there's a lot of different types of landscapes, believe it or not, and different types of settings that kind of fit the production's needs.
I would just love to go to Ireland. It looks so beautiful and green, and everyone seems so nice, and we love the accents. And I have an actor friend that has like a film festival in London, one of the big ones, and he's Ireland. And then I told him this funny story how like I met there was this guy when I was a waitress um of all places a wing store, and this guy had an accent, and he's like, "Oh, thanks love, can you do this, love, this is, oh, thanks love." And I was like, gosh, this guy is so polite and nice, because like nobody really says thanks love, can you please do this. Like most people are like, give me this or give me that, or I need more of that. And it was just so nice, so polite. And I'm like, hi, are you Irish? And he's like, yeah. And when he leaves, it's like Colin Farrell. I'm like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, I'm
Yeah,
so glad that I don't know if it's a celebrity or not, because it's just nice. You just treat them like if you met a person for the first time, like, but it was just, there's something about like an English accent, an Irish accent. It's lovely. And I write children's stories, as you probably all know, Enchanting book readings. It's ranked top 1% globally. And I always have like my favorite of my wizard series, Margaret Merlin's Journal. The cat is Scottish, And I always like putting accents. I have like either someone has an Italian accent or a French accent or English accent or Irish accent because I have a lot of listeners around the world. So I just that's
Mm.
one thing I do. So well, who knows? Maybe one day I'll be saying, "Hey, I need that voiceover from you."
Yeah, listen, I'm here. I'll do an Irish leprechaun, or I can do Irish dragon, whichever, or whichever
Oh,
you like.
and I have a story about a leprechaun, and he's really mean. He steals all the gold, and he just wants all the gold. It's called the swinging tree, and he's
Mm.
an evil, wampus, pompous, and leprechaun. He wants all the gold from the tree, but you could only have a pure heart to get the gold. So little girl gets it, and he gets so mad.
Yeah, those damn leprechauns! I tell you, I'm shaking my fist right now.
Yeah. So you worked in that, and then you also were the personal assistant to Jodie Comer, who did the
Yeah,
Killing Eve, Free Guy, and that was one of Ridley Scott's latest movie, the Last Duel, starring Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, and Adam Driver.
yeah, that was an absolutely fantastic experience. So I'll fast forward. So lots of stuff happened between the turning, but I'll get back to that. So COVID happened, and I had to go back to Ireland. I usually like travel around and write in different places, and so there was no traveling. So I had to go back to Ireland, and my friend reaches out, and she's like, "What are you doing?" And I was just like, "Nothing. I'm just writing." She's like, "Would you like to come work on the Last Duel?" And I was like, "Hell yeah, I'll do anything." Again, like if you need something to sweep the set, I'll do that. So they're just like, we have an actress who needs an assistant, and I was like, sure. So I was this assistant Jodie Comer on the Last Duel, which was the easily the best experience of my life. One of the best experiences of my life was just like I said later on, like Ridley Scott's part of that dying breed of directors who can do anything pretty much. As in, he can demand he can I want all like everything there was practical. There was very little special effects or very little like CGI. It was, we're building this castle, or we're building this wherever fucking like Coliseum type place, and there was like some days there was 700-800 people on set. This is the height of COVID. Everyone's getting tested. I was getting tested 3 times a week. Everyone was getting tested. But just the attention to detail. And I think in those situations where you're surrounded by like Ridley Scott's there, Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, Adam Driver, like Jodie, and the costume. Janty had won 2 or 3 Oscars. Set designer Arthur had won 2 or 3 Oscars, and everyone on it was just like, there must be like 50 Oscars. And
Oh my
you could
god.
you could see everyone's game like went up. Everyone was like on time. There wasn't, of course, but everyone was just like the top of their game when on that production. Everyone was just like so focused and so wanted to make the best picture that was out there. And I'm kind of disappointed that like it wasn't it was didn't do great at the box office, but everyone who saw it thought it was amazing. Like I think in years to come it will be seen as a classic. But that was an amazing experience being on that.
Well, so probably our listeners that are listening, thank you for making us a top podcast, and we're hitting number one weekly in different countries around the world. So that might be a good movie to check out. Ridley Scott's latest film, The Last Duel, and particularly with Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, I have to just say a little shout out. Thank you for having Project Greenlight, because I actually placed top 50 director in that project. So
Oh wow.
you know what I mean? And they were very encouraging to anyone that placed in their project, saying, "Hey, keep going." Even if they were very kind to the people that like say like, because the winner takes it all, like the one that wins the contest. And sometimes you forget about the other people, but they were just like, "Keep going. You obviously have talent, and just keep going." And I always appreciated that email. It was so encouraging, very nurturing, and they just took the extra time to just write you that beautiful note. So I really appreciate that, because like you said, like writers, when you're writing and you're a creator, that like if Hollywood is like, "Oh, what film credits do you have? Like, are you produced?" And they can be just like, they'll just, and it seems like the same people get to work over and over again because they have those credits and they're friends with each other. So if you're an outsider, I'm hoping these stories are are inspiring to those listening that would like to make it and are trying to make it, because if you're not in, you got to go write, direct, and produce your own films, and on no budget. and with people that aren't advanced yet, you can only do so much without a budget. And so those are beautiful things that when people have these contests or trying to help people break in, we really appreciate anyone that helps people to get that foot up the ladder. It's really beautiful.
Yeah, no, totally, totally. And then Matt Damon, nicest guy in the world. Like every morning, he'd say good morning to everybody, regardless of who you were. He would go out of his way to say good morning. He struck me as being very genuine, as most people, as most actors did. But he would go out of his way to be nice to people.
And I love that because, like, if you're so successful and you have all this money, why would you not be, kind? Like, kindness doesn't
Mm,
cost anything, and especially your crew. Just be nice to your crew that's there every day working 15 hours while you're the multimillionaire and everyone else is just maybe just getting a car payment or paying, payments and it's long hours and physically grueling. So that's a
mm.
beautiful story to hear how nice Matt Damon is and saying hi to people. I love that.
Yeah, yeah,
And then and then also you have 3 movies and a
yeah,
TV show for the History Channel. And can you tell us about your scripts in these movies coming out?
yeah. So in between the turning and the last duel, what happened to me was, so literally the turning wrapped and I was unemployed. So, and what I do is, like, just because I have a job, just because I'm working in the turning, doesn't mean I'm not writing or not like hustling. So every day I come in and I'm in Ireland filming the turning, and I have my LA clock on my computer, and I'm saying, okay, it's 9 o'clock in LA, time to send emails. So I'd be sending emails from Dublin, contacting cold emailing producers saying, like, oh, I have a script, would you like to read it? I have a script, and I'd send out literally like hundreds over the course of a week, like religiously. And I'd only do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, because no one's going to read an email from someone they don't know on a Monday. And Friday, people are finishing up for the weekend. So I'd hit them at either 9 o'clock in the morning or say between 12 and 2 Pacific Standard Time, because this is when people are on their break or having their morning coffee or getting set up for the day. So sending emails, sending emails, sending emails. So then I sent an email. So I got a response one day saying, hey, I'm in, from the producer. His name's Felipe Martinez. He's like, I'm in Rome. Do you want to come? I read your stuff. I like it. Do you want to come to Rome and write movies with me? And I'm just like, I'm in the plane right now. So literally, like the next week, I got a flight to Rome and I met this guy who I'd never met before, Felipe Martinez. And he took me to his, I'm going to say it's a villa it was like a converted olive grove farm, if that makes sense. Olive oil farm.
Yeah.
So took me there, and we spent the next couple of weeks writing these 3 movies that are due for release this year.
Oh my gosh, of all places, Rome, because I don't know if you know, I was born in Italy and my mom's Italian. So yes,
Oh,
somebody
yeah.
you've got to go to Rome. Oh my gosh. And so these movies are gonna come out. Can you share it with us? Anything, little hints or
Yeah, oh yeah, I can. So they're called, the first one is called Mr. Mayfair. So the 3 movies are like a series of movies. So it's about this aging gangster who's living in London and lives a very decadent lifestyle, and uh, he was involved in the mob in America, but now he's just owned a nightclub in the UK. And one day, a granddaughter he never knew turns up, and she wants to be a gangster. And so it's kind of like him. It's kind of like Max Mayfair building a relationship up with his granddaughter. So it's a comedy. It's got bits of action, thrill. So Amon Asante from Gotti, and what else? He's in American Gangster. He's in Judge Dredd. He's Max Mayfair, and also Stephen Bauer's in it from Scarface and Ray Donovan, and what's that called? Breaking Bad, and then we have Ken Davian, he's the manager from Borat. So yeah, it's got a good cast and it's a lot of fun. And I went, like, again, like, I wrote the scripts, but I wasn't on set every day. But I did visit the set, and it was amazing seeing that. Like, the most rewarding thing was seeing my words being spoken by an actor, and being recorded. And that would, again, that was very special to me to see my words coming out and being committed to the screen and being recorded, and yeah, it was very nice.
that must have been a treasured moment. Like, how did your parents react? Because you left banking to go into, production and writing.
Oh, you know, like saying that, my parents were always super supportive and super, like, and of course, like all parents are apprehensive and so on, but they're super supportive. And yeah, like I haven't got to see the movie because they haven't been released yet, but no, I can't wait just to sit down and watch it and enjoy how far I've come from. Like, because I'm only writing full time, like professionally, since May 2015. So it's only been no, 2 years of that were COVID. So it's been a whirlwind, but a lot of hard work, and a lot of late nights, but it's all been worth it.
Yeah, and can you tell everyone the name of the movie again? What was the name of it?
So it's Mr. Mayfair.
Mr. Mayfair, and that's about a
Yes.
gangster, right?
Yeah, a gangster. Yeah, I'm Sante.
Armin
Yeah,
Armin Asante. And is that gonna be streaming or at the
I'm not 100% sure. I haven't heard anything from the producer, so I'm not 100% sure of where it's going to be coming out. But it's coming out.
So I'm so happy that that producer answered your email because look, he got all those top actors in your film. It's being produced, and you got to write in an Olive Garden villa in Rome. Were you inspired in these surroundings?
Oh yeah, it was always amazing. Like again, it was like it's not Rome, the city. It was like out in the countryside of Rome, if that makes sense. It wasn't
Yes.
like there was no. It was just like I was like I want to say it's a castle, but it wasn't. It was like a converted like olive thing, but it was beautiful. It was I'm in the middle of, and I'm overlooking the rivers and the countryside. Oh, it was just amazing. It was just the
Uh,
right there. It was yeah, beautiful.
and how was the food? Excellent.
Oh yeah, the food, yeah, of course. I this a couple of years ago actually separately. I lived in Rome for a summer, so the Italian food. If anyone out there likes Italian food or wine or coffee or anything like that, go to Rome. It's yeah, it's an amazing place.
My mom actually just sent me a care package. She just came from Italy, and I got this beautiful care package of like limoncello, my favorite, and then she had provolone and Italian coffee. It was the whole Italian mom's package with everything you would want straight from Rome. And so I'm hoping that it translates to another beautiful children's story. So one of my
Oh,
dreams is to be able to write in Italy, either in Venice or Rome, in a beautiful country surrounding like that, or even in London, like, picturing in a country garden. And I want to go to Italy because there's a cafe where some of the top, are writers of classic stories sat down at the cafe and would write these amazing classic stories. So I do want to do that as well. I mean, how beautiful. And so can you
yeah.
share with us your other two screenplays?
Yeah, so the Mr. Mayfair, so the three movies due for release, they're like a series of movies together that I wrote back to back, and they film back to back. So it's The Spice of Life and A Song to Kill For. So these are all continuations of different adventures for Max Mayfair.
Oh, wow. So they filmed all 3 back to back. That's incredible. They had,
Yeah,
and like, they had the budget to go back to back. That's amazing.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, again, like I wasn't privy to the exactly production side of things, but they filmed them all back to back. And yeah, they from what I've seen, it looks amazing. It looks like so much fun. The movie, so I'm very excited to see them.
Yeah, and was it filmed in Italy or where were they filmed?
They filmed them in York for London, and then they filmed them in Portugal. And they filmed like did they film some in Miami as well? They filmed a lot of places. Unfortunately, I didn't get to go to any of these places, but yeah, no, they filmed there pretty yeah, lots of places.
Yeah, and then you also have a TV show for the History Channel, which is due to come out this year. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I can only because I don't think much has been released about it. I can tell you bits and pieces. But so
Sure.
it's about the Colosseum. So it's like seeing the Roman Empire through the prism of the Colosseum. So I wrote 2 episodes. I think there's 8 episodes in total. So I wrote yeah, on that for so I'm again like to get a chance to play in that sandbox of like the Roman Empire and create stories with this was and to work with the History Channel, like it's an amazing company, and I feel very privileged.
Oh, wow, and you wrote about the Roman Colosseum. So once again, you're going to my hometown, right?
Yeah, hold on. It's fun because like when I lived in Rome during the summer, I'd spend a lot of time just hanging out around the Colosseum. And like for anyone that hasn't been in Rome, you just like sit down and bask in all its glory. So to get a chance to do justice to the city is an amazing privilege. So I think I seen parts like a sort of trailer for the Colosseum, and it looks amazing.
Wow, incredible. Are you going to do something about your hometown in Ireland or?
Do you know what? Like, if I got the opportunity, maybe if the story arrives, at maybe or someone offered me the opportunity. But like we spoke at the start, like cinema for me was always an escape, and I don't want to do like a movie. A lot of Irish movies are about, say, like the conflict with the United Kingdom and the famine or some sort of something like that. And I grew up in that as a child, and like movies for me were an escape. They're not like I don't want to make something ultra realistic and serious. I think movies should take you somewhere you've never been before, I spent a long time in Ireland. I'm saying that if the situation came up and it was just like a fun project, of course I would. But would I want to write like about like say the potato famine or something like that? I'd have to think about it, to be
Yeah.
honest.
So what's anything else what's up on the horizon? Like anything new coming up? Because it sounds like you're writing all the time. How long does it take you to write a script, or does it?
Do you know it's funny? Sometimes it takes me 6 weeks, other times it takes me 3 months. But sometimes I write something and something else comes along that I have to do, or I'm like I'm paid to work on some other script. So at the moment, what am I working on at the moment? I'm doing I'm writing something for a Dutch director called Rule Rene. He did Halo and he did like Woo Assassins. So I'm doing stuff for him, and then
Nice.
hopefully, yeah, hopefully I have a few other movies due, hopefully going to production before the end of the year. But again, like it's very hard to like nothing's been 100% green lit, but things are looking good in a few different avenues.
Oh, yeah, and it's so funny. Like one of your favorite films was Goodfellas from Scorsese, and here you were able to make your dream happen of your gangster movie in an Italian villa by this producer that gave you that chance from reaching out from emails that you had to write so many. I remember
Mm.
like writing people when it was the old-fashioned way with postcards with a pen or a pencil. I had it dent in my finger from writing so many postcards, but sometimes you get them. Like I had Oliver Stone's office call me and Don Simpson from Jerry Bruckheimer who sent me to casting. So sometimes you might make that connection, and it's beautiful to see that this what was his name? Renee, what was it?
So
Renee
his name's Philippe Martinez.
Philippe Martinez. And so that's
Yeah.
beautiful. Congratulations. And just if you'd like to, just for our audience that's listening sometime, can you repeat the three films to be looking out for? I think it's going to be streaming. We don't know if it's going to be streaming or at the box office, but at least we
Oh
have
no,
it.
I say it's going to be streaming. I say it's going to be on one of those platforms. So it's Mr. Mayfair, Song to Kill For, and The Spice of Life.
Mr. Mayfair. It sounds incredible. So there's three. And so we're so happy to have you on the show today. And thanks for everyone for listening to both parts, part one and part two. Niall, Cassin, it's been a pleasure learning about your journey from a childhood, your little boy from Dublin, Ireland, who finally made it in Hollywood, and your beautiful journey to having your stories that you've written being made into feature films. That's just congratulations.
No, thank you very much. And I just want to, any of your listeners out there who are thinking about like following their dream or taking a chance, it's doable. And I encourage anyone out there to go for it. You'll just regret it if you don't. And not to say it's possible to get anything if you work hard enough and you want to sacrifice.
Yeah, and yes, and see, that's what I was saying. Like you did all that hard work, the sacrifice, those 15-hour days, and you were like champagne and that expensive bottle of wine. You were so ready for someone to say yes to you because you did the work. You did the work. So congratulations.
No, thank you very much.
And just want thanks tell our audience thank you for listening, making us a top podcast, and take a second to download the podcast. That supports us. Give us some lovely 5-star reviews. We appreciate that. And if you'd like to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Storytime Fun. And thank you so much for listening. Until next week, have a beautiful week and enjoy the episode.
Bye, guys.